Starfleet Underground. Every week, we'll take a look at the latest Star Trek news and then check out a current or classic episode of Star Trek. Burnham and Book make a jailbreak. The Beatles Get Back. Stamets comes close to killing us all, and that is really saying something. Culber needs some brutal honesty, but Kovich has a 2 o'clock, and Saru gets into a screaming match, but maintains control with a kill switch.
Red alert, red alert. We're being attacked by something. What the hell is going on? Wait. What was that, Doc? We have friggin' exploding tribbles in the corridor? What the hell? Cancel red alert.
Red alarm. Red alarm.
Why are tribbles exploding in the hall?
That's my fault, Captain. I did a couple okay, so I played this game called like Exploding Kittens, and I got this idea that I wanted to try out with the Tribbles, and that's my latest science experiment.
Did you get permission from the Tribbles?
No.
And did you get permission from PETA?
No.
Oh my goodness.
Oh man.
They
don't work in the Delta Quadrant.
I just looked on the security cam. We get scorch marks all up and down the hall now.
Oh, it sounds messy.
But hey, the experiment was a success. It worked.
Yeah, but now Doc 007 has an afro because of all the fur that hit his head when he was going down the corridor when he exploded. So that's not good. Number one, don't leave your quarters yet because there's a bunch of them rolling past you. So I don't want you to get hurt.
I ain't going nowhere.
So, yeah.
Bunch of exploding pussies out in the hall. Forget it.
So, computer, lock cabin doors. Thank you. Dot, if you're on communication, I have the cabin locked. Make sure if you're going to come into my area that you unlock it and then relock it back. We're getting ready to start the show. What do you mean we already started? Oh, crap.
Red alarm.
Okay. Once
Red
again,
alarm.
I did not see the light, so I was not aware that we were already broadcasting.
It is hard to see the light while the red alert is going off.
This is true. So
it's even more hard when it's a red alarm.
Yeah, it is. So just pretend y'all didn't hear this. Okay. Welcome, everybody, to another episode of Starfleet Underground. I am here, Captain Nathan Adams, aboard this wonderful vessel, and we have our full crew complement. Luckily, none of them got hurt in our little mishap that went on. So I have my science officer here, I have my science officer. No, it isn't.
Hi, I'm Heather Ferris. I'm the science officer, and I'm the one going to get written up this episode because I made Tribbles explode without the captain's permission.
Yes,
or the Tribbles' permission.
Or the Tribbles' permission.
Example of her.
Yeah, so after the show, you need to report to my. Well, I'm going to have you come to my cabin because I don't know what the
just did something.
room
You didn't even get it.
What?
I said we need to make an example of her.
Yes, we do. We have the St. Andrew's Cross.
I get what he's saying.
But she likes that. So
there's a tie-in,
hello,
sir.
Captain.
You know what this week's episode is called?
Yes, I know the example. So I get it. We should put her in a triangle cell cage.
As long as it's not the agonizer.
Lock her in a bridge on the USS Janeway.
Yeah, but I have fun doing like stuff in there.
Yeah. But so, yeah, you're definitely going to have...
We'll put you on the NSS to POW and let's just suffer with the Vulcans.
Ah, shit.
Yeah, they're not going to like that. But you need to come to my cabin after the show. We have to have a talk.
Ooh.
Discipline, quote unquote.
Oh.
Next, we also have my number one.
Hey, I'm Patrick. I'm number one. I'm the computer guy and the foreign species liaison. And I don't sound like a large Marge this week.
No, in fact, both of my officers finally got healed of their screaming.
You guys sound good.
Woohoo, I got my voice
I'm
back.
still coughing, but I sound better.
Well, that's a matter of opinion, but yeah, you sound regular. Also, we cannot thank him enough because he keeps his ship running. And not only that, he somehow makes everything look beautiful again once Heather finishes cooking. And now I hope that the dots under his direction will get the corridors nice and clean again.
I have to power wash the corridors, sir.
It's our chief. Yeah, because I'm looking at the scorch marks over there and Tribble fur everywhere.
You can't phaser the corridor. You gotta power wash them the old fashioned way.
Well, because there's Tribble guts and Tribble poo.
Yeah, it's gotta get. Yeah, we power wash weekly.
I was trying for sprinkles like glitter. Like I wanted them to explode and glitter go everywhere, but it just didn't work. They ate the glitter and then they pooped.
They're living beings.
A Tribble Glitter-Bomb?
They pooped glitter. They pooped glitter.
Okay.
If you look around and you look at the Tribble poop, it has glitter in it.
But it's still poop.
That's not quite changing their poop.
Well, now
glitter,
it's
though.
exploding poop.
I thought they were in the middle of being transported with the glittering around them. But I guess not. Wait, what? You're kidding me. The Tribbles that didn't explode are eating the pieces of the ones that did.
Oh no!
But that's going to be wait. They're multiplying. Dots, round them up, block them from that area to keep them from going in. All right, just don't let it happen because we don't need cannibalistic Tribbles running around. All right, thank you. Sorry, I am back. Where was I?
At least they're not zombie Tribbles.
It's very disturbing news. Cannibal Tribbles on the run. Maybe that's how the Mirror Universe Tribbles got their teeth.
Oh,
which
maybe.
is really interesting. So this show is being brought to you by Exploding Tribbles.
Rocky didn't get to introduce himself.
No, it's not. Yes, he did. Didn't he?
No, he didn't.
Rocky.
Okay, I'll officially introduce myself. Hi, guys. I'm Rocky.
Yay, Rocky.
And that's it.
I make the ship go.
Yes,
He makes
and
us
keeps it
go.
clean and everything
Yeah.
else. And he got that ding out of the side when he let Patrick drive the other day. So I'm really impressed when he was piloting kind of skyscraper.
That ding was from my dong.
Docking.
Would you know that buffed
oh
out?
my.
Yeah, it buffed out quite nicely.
Somebody was buffing it out.
No, he was getting buffed out. Today's show's being brought to you by not only Exploding Tribbles, but Section 31 and our wonderful Patreon people. So thank you very much. And if you say, what is Patreon? Look at our website and find a link and sign up for as little as $1. And that's like equivalent to today, the 2021 is like 75 cents. But just the same, go ahead and join us up. So thank you for being here. Next, is we got any corrections?
Let me check subspace, but I didn't see anything earlier. Nope, no corrections. We're good.
Outstanding. And for news, other than the fact that we have exploding little furry things on the corridors, you have any other news for us there, Heather? Which I should have been informed earlier that you was going to do that, but we'll talk about it later.
I know. So this week, my news is LeVar Burton was selected to be the host for the 94th annual Scripps National Spelling Bee. The final rounds of this spelling bee will take place on June 1st and 2nd, 2022.
Oh, how cool.
Yes, the event will be broadcasted on both the Ion and Bounce networks, as well as cable and streaming platforms.
Oh, that's a perfect host for that. That's he's really coming to his own. I really enjoy watching him on his Instagram and everything else. I'm glad that his profile is going way beyond Geordie. So that's nice to see.
Me too. He's just a very delightful person.
He is. And number one, what do you have for me?
Contempt? No, I'm just kidding.
Oh my.
Amazon released a documentary yesterday, Shatner in Space, chronicling William Shatner's trip into space on the Blue Origin rocket. And
the penis rocket ride?
Yes.
The penis rocket.
The U.S. Federal Aviation Administration has officially designated him as an astronaut.
I thought they were going to make him a cosmonaut.
Wow.
Well, you know.
So he is now an astronaut now.
Yeah.
And I'm sure that he loves that.
Yes, if you want to watch it, it's a 1-hour documentary all about his journey into space, and it's on Amazon Prime.
It's very fitting that he went up in a penis rocket.
You won't get over that, will you?
No, if you're going to send Kirk up into space, the penis rocket is the perfect rocket to send him in.
I mean, we can't beam him yet, so might as well.
Yeah. Are you saying he's a dick?
Yes. Yes, I am. Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Just making the parallel there, you know.
Totally.
Okay, so that explains things.
Hey, people love dick. It's okay.
Yes, they do.
Oh, okay. News-wise, Rocky, what do you get?
Okay, so my news, I actually wasn't looking at the news. I was distracted by Twitter. There's this wonderful person on Twitter called Jessie who was talking about releasing some sort of book or article or something or other and was asking about sexual titles or Star Trek related. That was happening last week, and it was just phenomenally hilarious because, Star Trek and sex is like, hello? I mean, we don't even have to say it. It's so obvious. But apparently this person released a video on YouTube, and they're a YouTuber. They actually have lots of videos. I just started watching this one video, the phenomenon of everybody thinking of what Gene's vision was and saying what Gene's vision, was this, was that, was this. And then the whole thing of sexual Star Trek really had a recent explosion because of Lower Decks and the one orgy scene that lasted seconds, but was phenomenally burned in many of our heads.
It was so awesome.
It was wonderful. But trying to explore this connection between, quote unquote, Gene's vision and sex and Star Trek, it literally goes all the way back. And it's a wonderful exploration of that. This video, it's over 2 hours long, and I only got about halfway through it. And I have to recommend it to Trekkies who appreciate Star Trek and sex. So, which should be all of us, right? Should be.
Basically anyone listening to this podcast.
Yeah. So
I don't think I'm ever going to get Boimler's starfish out of my mind.
That was the best pose ever.
You almost said mouth, sir.
Yeah, I heard that. Yes,
that was a Freudian slip. But anyway,
mouth was nowhere in my mind.
Yeah, sure.
Or
in
on
your
my
mouth,
lips.
or in your mouth. Yeah, I heard that too.
But your tongue wanted to lick the starfish. I know.
But anyway, I would like to recognize a really well done video as I was watching it, and Jessie on Twitter, and we'll put a link in the show notes to the video.
Outstanding. I'd like to see that because if you recommend it, then I know it's going to be stellar. So that's pretty cool.
And I'm liking the name Jessie Gender. Hello.
Yeah. Now, for my news, for video game people out there like me, there's going to be release of a new Star Trek game. It's going to be an interactive narrative video game from Dramatic Labs, and it's Star Trek Resurgence. It's going to be available for Xbox, PlayStation, and PC. It follows the crew of the USS Resolute, with players assuming 2 character roles throughout the whole thing. So it's the event set up right after Star Trek The Next Generation. You're going to have the first officer and an engineering person. So I expect both Patrick and Rocky to be able to play through it, which is awesome. When I was younger, I used to love those pick your own adventure books where you go through things. And and it's pretty cool. If you're a scaredy cat, the adventure ends within like a couple of pages. So,
that was a quick book.
Yeah, it was. So it encourages you to play again.
They were a lot of fun.
Extremely. So I'm looking forward to that. It looks like a lot of these interactive stuff is coming back since Netflix did their pick your own adventure, and now they got several of them now. So it's going to be pretty awesome. All right. So it looks like we got our news section out of the way, and the moment that everyone's been waiting for.
You're retiring?
Oh my.
No. Dot, unlock Patrick's room. Let the exploding Tribbles yet heard them in there. Okay. What do you mean? My mic is not on mute? Oops. Sorry. Let's do the recap.
Hi, Captain. Will do. Oh, that's hilarious. This week we did Star Trek Discovery Season 4, Episode 5, The Examples. It first aired December 16th, 2021. Teaser, DMA Breakthru. With an audience of a couple of Starfleet vessels, the DMA performs a magic trick and vanishes into thin air, then reappears 1,000 light years away after 4 seconds. Michael double checks with Zora to see if anything like this has ever occurred in nature, and Zora confirms that this is the first, indicating that the DMA is man-made. They think they found the next target, and they need to evacuate the entire planet in 4 hours before the DMA kills everyone. Meanwhile, Stamets' goal is to figure out who created the DMA, but he's forced to team up with a snobby asshole he doesn't like. The plan is to figure out how the machine works so they can pinpoint which planets have access to that technology.
This was an interesting thing. Could you imagine you're dealing with what you think is a regular anomaly, and then the fucker just disappears?
And then it comes back. It's like, wait a minute, what was that?
And it's really wild. And the ship, who remembers the NSS T'Pol, where that comes from? the name.
T'Pau was from Amok Time.
That is correct.
And they had the USS Janeway too.
I know.
Janeway!
That was
So cool.
really cool. I really like how they gave a nod to the earlier stuff. And it's just right that you do the legends to have ships named after them. I think it's...
I might have peed a little when I
Yeah.
heard the name.
Yeah.
I know, right?
I was like, oh, Janeway! Ah! Psst, oops.
Yeah.
Yeah, super excited.
And I like the fact that Zora is becoming really a part of a crew rather than just...
I'm freaking out about
computer.
Zora, okay?
I
I
like
love
Zora.
Zora.
Zora's cool. Zora can cross-reference anything.
Yeah,
I so love Zora.
When a computer starts developing feelings,
Yes.
we could be in trouble.
Next section. But yes.
I know it's the next section, but this could be very dangerous.
Yeah. Well, maybe. Or maybe pretty cool.
You know what's also dangerous is that this anomaly, the DMA, the question of who should do this? Who created this? Who is the question? Who? Doctor Who? Did Doctor Who do this? Is this the
Right?
Doctor Who crossover we're talking about?
Well, it wasn't from the Q continuum because they were rolled out. They haven't been heard from in over like 600 years. So
Q took a vacation to Risa. He was
Q's
like, I'm
nap.
just tired, man.
Q's taking a nap.
Q's like, fuck you people.
the Metrons and the Iconians, I mean, we're dropping, superior species names like, No Tomorrow.
And then a scene.
Who were the Nacine? I'm trying to remember who the Nacine were.
I don't remember, but I can look it up. Let's see.
Hey, do your job.
But yeah, I was like, when they said that the anomaly had been created, I was like, what the fuck?
This thing is so insane. It's just not naturally occurring, especially this far into the universe. I'm like,
Yeah.
who could possibly have done this?
The Nacine are also known as the caretakers.
Oh, really?
Oh.
That's
Yeah,
a
but
good
why?
point.
They're an extragalactic species of sporocystine life forms possessing high-level technology and the ability to navigate subspace.
Ooh.
Two such
Why?
members were encountered on both Ocampa and USS Voyager on the far side of the Delta Quadrant. The three episodes, Voyager Caretaker, Voyager Coldfire, and Voyager the Conspiracy.
I don't get why would somebody create such a beastie and then run it around doing things like that. That's just pretty crazy.
Well, why would it disappear for 4.2 seconds and then reappear 1,000 light years away?
Yeah.
I love Jett's quote. Jett's like, nothing in space just disappears. And I'm thinking, hello, like you just disappeared for like how many episodes? Where were you?
She was at Starfleet Academy.
That's a good point.
Is that where she was?
She was training cadets.
Okay.
Okay, that means that our girl will come back because if she left to train cadets and came back, that means so will Tilly.
Tilly's
I
coming
hope
back.
so.
There's no, I have no doubt.
Yeah. So it was pretty cool. And Booker, love him, states the obvious is that just violates everything.
Yeah.
And
I love
Stamets,
Book's character.
And now Stamets and him being best friends, Stamets does the rare, I agree. So I thought that was cool. A little bromance going on there.
Well, I like that they're focusing on that relationship that the two have. And like you were saying before, Book is just a phenomenal character. I love what they're doing with Book.
I agree. He's not just a background or window dressing for Michael.
But there's certainly no bromance between Stamets and Ruon Tarka,
Oh, that guy's an
Oh,
asshole.
God. Talk about narcissist.
who is played excellently by the amazing Sean Doyle. Thank you very much. He is killing this character.
I
Oh
just
my
thought, though,
God.
the Stamets' first reaction is like, what, you want to bring somebody in? I already have all the people I need. And I'm like, dude, are you sure? This is kind of a big phenomenon. You've got like 3 people working with you.
Every single time you see Stamets' face when they're either talking about Tarek or Tarek's talking, dude, his faces are hilarious. I laughed my ass off watching his faces in this episode. He has the best faces.
He was just so upset. It's like he never answers me back. It's like finding out someone peed in the pool. He's like,
He's just ignoring me.
Did you pay attention when Admiral Vance told him that no, we need someone from within and without of the Federation to handle this? And as Vance is walking away, the look he gives to Stamets, it was like, bitch.
he was, that was really, really funny.
Well, Stamets was just being full of himself. I mean, he was just like, it was all ego.
Well, yeah,
Total
and that's
ego.
the thing is this phenomenon, if this is as unprecedented as it is, how can Stamets think he has all the people in? I mean, he went to the Vulcan Science Academy and they couldn't help him. I mean, he should be bringing in everybody left and right, including this Tarka dude.
But it comes to the point where he feels that he's always the smartest in the room, no matter where he's at. And to think that he won't need anybody because, I'm the smartest, I'm the best, I'm the greatest. So it's a little bit of an ego thing. Like they always say, how can you fill your cup with knowledge if it's already full? And he was like,
you bring in more cups. You got to bring in more cups because this is a bigger problem than just one cup. That's all I'm saying.
Yeah.
Bring in 2 girls, 1 cup.
Ha.
Whatever it takes.
No.
One of my favorite wisdom quotes is the person who thinks he knows everything knows nothing. And the person who realizes how much he doesn't know, that's the person that has the most wisdom.
That is
and
correct.
I'm sure I butchered that quote, but it was something along those lines.
No, but the essence is there, and you're right. And that's basically what it is when you find out this, how much you don't know, and you're willing to always accept new information and new point of views, that does make you a better person, because he feels like, I did the Spore drive. I did this. I did that. I'm the living example. Why won't you talk to me?
Why do you keep taking my blood and my semen samples without ever saying hi or giving me a drink?
Seriously, do you know how much I've rubbed myself raw for you?
What samples are we taking? I think the blood samples are all we need. Why are these extra ones coming in?
He's giving them a lot of different bodily fluid samples.
He wants to make sure.
Yeah, I don't think that was mentioned in the episode, but okay.
I don't think it has anything to do with the Spore drive.
Cobra's like, I've cut your toenails too close on the last one. There's no more toenail to clip.
It's a Spore drive, not a sperm drive.
Wait, I've been calling it wrong this whole time. No wonder everyone's been looking at me kind of strange.
Oh my God. Oh my God.
You mean you use your sperm to pop all over the galaxy?
I don't know. When the last meeting I had, when I was talking about, I'd love for our ship to be able to have a sperm drive.
That's why they haven't invited you back to the meeting, sir. You're saying the wrong thing.
I was like, I want our ship to have a sperm drive so we can really jet to areas really quick. And all the Vulcans just raised an eyebrow and looked at me. And I was like, what?
Oh my God.
I don't see anything wrong with
The
it.
Vulcans are raising their eyebrow going, idiotic.
I didn't get it. I don't understand. But the Talaxian laughed his ass off. So I thought maybe because he thought the request was outrageous. Now I know why.
Well, because he wanted to use it in a stew.
I'm going to have to.
No.
I'm going to have to send an apology out.
Neelix, he wanted to cook.
Yeah, I'm going to have to send an apology out. But it was a pretty good teaser. It was a lot of information in the teaser. They've been doing that a lot lately, is really booking the teaser full of delightful stuff.
And they've got the pep speech, the captain's pep speech. I like that Burnham's doing those. It feels more and more like Star Trek.
Yeah, I have to agree.
But what do we think of the name Unknown Species 10C?
Well, it could have been 10D.
I saw what you did there.
We're not bringing 10D into this.
Yeah, because if we brought 10D into this, she would have solved the problem by accident.
She's on lower decks. We don't need to bring her onto Discovery.
When at the very beginning of the teaser, when he's looking at the planet and it disappears on him and he's talking to himself, Jett says, are you talking to yourself again? Are you looking for some kind of response? I love that because I know that I've wanted to say that to people so many times. Do you want me to respond to that? Am I supposed to respond? You just talking to yourself? What's going on here?
Jett the actress feels way more comfortable in her character now. To me, it seems very natural.
Yeah.
I'm happy to have her back, and I want more.
So am I.
I can't wait for more. I love the TIG element added to the show.
You have to have a TIG element because that was the element that Tilly brought. You had somebody who can see humor when things are going crazy, and you didn't have anybody else other than Tilly that kind of did that.
Well, and sometimes it's the sarcastic response to things. It's just, you do not expect in Star Trek, and it comes right at you, hits you right across the face, and it's like, oh, wow.
Yeah, and I love her deadpan delivery when she gives it.
Wow, that was a thing.
It's kind of like if she was a part where the Blue Horizon went up. Everyone's like, what a marvel engineering. Look at everybody going up in space. That's so exciting. And Jett would be like, yeah, that's a dick.
It's pretty good for a penis rocket.
Yeah, so
she's like, that's my dick.
That's problem. It's like I wasn't aware they stole my dildo. So that's definitely interesting.
Someone stole your dildo, Captain?
No, I don't have one.
You have 2 of them, sir?
No, I don't have any in the corridors. I mean, in my room.
In the corridors.
Oh, so it's just not in the corridors. Okay.
The only time any of them was in my room is when the dot came in with one on each thing.
Oh, yeah. We have that episode called Dots with Dildos. Yes. I remember that one.
Which is getting a lot of views, I think, because of the name and the, yeah. But we were completely taken off of ads for that one. Like YouTube's like, we're not giving you any ads for that one.
Oops.
Yeah. Like that is way too racy.
They could have gave like Adam and Eve, the porn shop stuff. They could have put that on. Oh, wait, they're not even allowed on that either. Okay, YouTube's been taking away a lot of stuff. They just dropped all of Disney's content. So like ABC.
Right off YouTube TV?
Right off of YouTube TV because they got an argument and a pissing contest about pricing.
Oh, wow.
So you would think it'd be a bunch of dildos, but.
Yeah.
It wasn't appropriate content for kids.
Really? Is there anything else we need to pre-cum out of this teaser?
I don't even know if I want to follow that now. I just thought the Radvek V sounded like a band on the Tonight Show.
Yeah, it does.
I thought it was something you put in a salad.
It does. I'm wondering because we've touched on the Iconians before, and it makes me wonder if they're going to bring the Iconians into this.
I don't know.
All of these. I mean the
it
callbacks.
Would be iconic if they did.
The callbacks that are even happening. Oh, God, that was great, sir.
Yeah, because I can't see Q doing something like this. I can't see any of the other really races.
I would like to, though. I think it would be fun to see Q visit Discovery.
Yeah, but a Q that had lost his mind in the continuum decided I'm going to just willy-nilly destroy worlds. So that's interesting.
Qs they don't willy-nilly that kind of stuff. I mean, there's always a point.
No, I'm not saying Q should be involved in this part of Discovery. I'm saying after they solve this major catastrophe,
have Q.
Some other, visit by Q would be entertaining.
Or Trelane grown up.
But we got to get Q out of messing with Picard first before we can get him on Discovery.
Well, that's true, but it shows he's alive somewhere, well, at least 900 years before he was still around. So I guess we can jump into the next section.
Aye, Captain. Act 1, The Examples. Storyline A, Discovery arrives and begins evacuating the planet. However, scans show that there are 6 individuals on the far side of the planet who are not joining with the evacuations. These people are the examples. They committed crimes and must remain in their cells forever or until death. Whichever comes first. Michael is having none of that and takes Book to go rescue them. Storyline B, the new scientist is Ruon Tarka. Thank you. And Stamets already knows the guy and has a problem with him. He's rude, and that's saying a lot coming from Stamets. But he comes with some blueprints to a working miniature DMA, so Stamets is a little impressed. Saru is skeptical and will supervise. Storyline C, the Doctor is working himself to death trying to distract himself from his own demons.
Demons?
Yeah,
What?
he has demons.
On a starship? That's
The
dangerous.
Doctor has demons. Dude, the therapist has demons. You can't be
I know. I was being silly.
Okay.
Everybody has demons according to Imagine Dragons. So
Even the dragons.
Well, you know what I was annoyed by was the magistrate from Radvek V. He's like, why? They're criminals. And he's like, the law abiding among us await you. I was like, really, dude? You're that dick?
He should have been like, oh, shit, you're right. Okay, fine. Somebody should go get them. No, we're just like, no, we're just leaving them.
Yeah, he's like, they're criminals. Like, I'm like, I was just like, I really wanted to jump through the screen and strangle him. And Ruon.
I mean, they literally left them people thrown away like trash.
Yeah. For stealing food.
And then Ruon's all rude again to Saru. He's like, you really do have the strangest feet. I'm like,
he's got a foot fetish.
I'm like, dude, are you just rude to everybody?
I mean, that's not the first thing I noticed when I noticed Saru. I mean, the first thing I noticed is, dude, you're fucking tall.
Yeah.
Right?
But he's looking at his feet.
I know. And it's like, what the hell was that all about? Like you said, it's a foot fetish. He's like staring and the camera focuses right on Saru's feet. So that was interesting.
And him calling this Discovery an antique.
I know. It's like, antique's the wrong word for it. Discovery's not like the old Discovery. It's got programmable matter on it. It's got disconnected nacelles. It's got all this cool shit going on. And he's like, this is an antique. I mean, it's like,
got
dude.
Zora, hello.
Yeah, I mean, he's not recognizing the cool shit going on.
No, and then
Yeah.
he kind of does a slap in the face. He's like, oh, Stamets, I've read your stuff. It's pretty good. And there's a lot I can improve on.
Yes.
What the hell is
and
that?
I think he meant that as a dig. I think he didn't say it, but I think he meant it. He knew it would drive Stamets crazier.
Oh, yeah. The look on Stamets' face, you could tell it got to him. That was hilarious.
It was, there's so much to admire and improve upon. And it was just like, Stamets' face was like, oh, yeah, you like my work? Oh, improve upon? What?
He's like, bitch.
Yeah. He had like a what the fuck and I'm going to kill you like mixture look on his face.
He was like, girl, don't test me, okay?
What is the cat species that we have as Cartanian?
Cation.
Yes.
Cation. If he was a Circassian, the claws would have came out.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
I like the way that, I mean, of all the things, Tarka's like driving us crazy because he's a fresh breath of annoying air. He whips out the replicator and says, potatoes, cold, and a pea. He breaks it down with mashed potatoes and a pea. I mean, he starts shaping up mashed potatoes. And of course, if you didn't have the Close Encounters of the Third Kind flashback, it was still cool to use potatoes as a friggin', it's this. We want this thing right in the middle. It's the pea that we're looking at, the control device.
He didn't even need to do that. Like all he had to say is there's a device in the middle controlling it and you're done. What was up with the mashed potatoes and pea?
He needed this is the explanation. He's trying to get it across in the simplest way possible.
Well, he was treating them like children.
And I'm sorry, when did Ryzens learn about mashed potatoes?
Well, he was doing it like they were children, basically. It's like,
Yeah.
I'm going to give you a visual aid. So,
yeah, but you know what? It
come
kind of
on.
helped. It actually did kind of help. I mean, it was like obvious, but it's like, look, dude, we're all smart people in here. This is what we're looking at.
Did you
Yeah.
guys get the Jaws reference?
I need a bigger room.
Yeah.
Bigger
He's like-
room.
He's like, we're going to need a bigger room. I was like, yes.
Yeah, I totally got that reference.
What about when Book and Michael are playing Space Invaders?
No, that was really kind of
That's one way to look at
messed
it.
up and funny. 'Cause it's like,
Killing the Nerissa Beatles?
I hate that sound.
They were very annoying a little bit, and then they did the memorable maneuver. It did that same exact maneuver twice, or like 4 times exactly. I'm like, these are not natural.
No.
No. And then they turn around and have buzzsaws to come up. What the hell is that all about?
It was pretty crazy. And I'm just sitting here wondering, why did they only send these 2 people? I mean, sure, they could have spared a couple more people because they're going into a crazy prison that's based on this asteroid colony. How do you know what to expect in a prison? You just send in 2 people and they can just take it? I'm all for a jailbreak, exciting episode, but I think they need a few more people.
Yeah.
I mean, especially with Beatles with buzzsaws in their butts.
Right.
Say that 4 times fast.
They probably would have had more of a challenge if the prison was manned, but everyone had left.
It's on automatic, so you're up against the computer again. That's I was really frightened by this. I really was. I was like, I need more people.
Open the door, Hal.
I thought about it when I looked at and saw Michael doing what she was doing to try to circumvent the Beatles. My first thought was like, oh my God, what Spock would have gave to have a device like that he could have a console no matter where the hell he is.
Yeah.
Right.
Because then you would have to try to do it with the tricorder.
Yeah. I like that they used that, the Beatles for their own advantage, where they took something that was supposedly a problem and they ended up using it as a tool later on.
I wonder if they got permission from John, Paul, George, and Ringo.
Maybe not.
I mean, I thought when they showed up and started throwing buzzsaws at them, they were going to get back.
Get back to where you once belonged.
And when they got in there,
For anyone who didn't get that, that's a Beatles song reference.
Yeah,
that Rocky did.
I'm pretty sure we're getting sued and taken down now. There goes our monetization from YouTube. Thanks a lot.
well, who knows? Maybe Paul is a Beatles fan.
I mean, you had to sing it. You had to sing it, didn't you? You didn't need to sing it, but you had to sing it.
Well, I like the Beatles. What can I say?
I like the Beatles too.
But I like how between all the acts and all the excitement, they still have time to put in some relationship, because you have Stamets gets in and Culber is there, and how they both try to ground each other. And he basically tells about him and why he's pissed off at the guy, which I thought was kind of cool, because that's what partnership is all about.
Well, and Culber's got the response, you just got to let it roll off of you, man. Just don't let it bother you.
Yeah. Hello, doctor, take thine own advice.
Exactly.
And then Stamets, it's not just, the dude's a freaking narcissist. But it wasn't just all about him in this scene. He was like, how long have you been working? You've had like 5.
And Culber's instantly like, no, I'm good.
Yeah. He's like, I'm totally good. I can handle this.
Or when Michael and Book are on the planet and he's saying, I don't miss the just friends thing. He's like, that was absolutely zero fun for both of us.
That was funny. I like how despite everything that's going on with the show, they show that people, when you have a same-sex couple, has the same problems as any other couple. It's not just people start to think that, if they're gay, that all their problems are this, or if they're that. No, everybody has the same relationship problems, the same hopes, the same dreams. And I really enjoyed that interplay because it showed how much they're together as a couple and trying to support one another. And even though Stamets is freaking out, he still recognized that something is up with his mate.
And it's the same too, do you want to be top tonight? Do you want to be bottom tonight? Same difference,
It's the same subject. Like, you want to do anything? Well, let's see what's on TV first.
Right?
So
can we do it after Carson?
Let's watch that episode of Star Trek first. Then, yeah.
So
let's create a tunnel through space-time and bring the DMA here.
So I think it was pretty cool that they showed that. I did like that.
I just want to see the episode where the noodles came involved. Burnham was pulling noodles out of her braids for days.
Mm-hmm.
That sounded like
that
quite
was
the
from
excitement.
the night stream delivery on Unla.
I really needed a couple of visual flashbacks.
That would have been funny. And for the noodles to get into her braids, that's pretty damn impactful.
A lot of noodles.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so that would be
look,
pretty
another
wild.
noodle from last week.
Maybe we'll go to Unla later in the season.
Maybe we should go there. Let me check how far. Oh, wait, that's in the future. We can't sling slide. We can only go in the past, not the future. So never mind.
Should we move to next section?
Well, I don't know. Did we hit with everything? Did we hit with the...
Yep.
I think we did.
Thing. We hit the...
We even hit the Beatles.
Yeah, okay. All right.
I mean, the Beatles were a hit.
Oh, they were several hits.
They were just explosive.
Exploding Beatles.
And now we have exploding Tribbles. Let's go to the next act.
Hi, Captain. Act 2, the Saru Scream WWE edition.
That was funny. That was funny. Forgive me. I didn't mean to interrupt, but that's funny.
You're good.
Okay, go ahead.
Storyline A. Michael arrives and tells the examples what's going on. We must evacuate now or death will rain down upon us. So after hearing this, the prisoners want to take their time and ask lots of questions. Michael reminds them that, her life is on the line for trying to save their asses. So can they hustle a little? They identify how to unlock the cells and get to work. Once the cells were unlocked, they actually have to waste time trying to persuade a reluctant and argumentative prisoners to go with them. Michael has the bright idea of invoking asylum, and the prisoners quickly jump on board, requesting asylum before heading towards the exit. All except one prisoner who goes back to his cell. Michael does a facepalm and goes after him. He tells her he's a murderer and shows her his trophy from the killing. Michael patiently listens and slowly escorts the prisoner out. Once they arrive at the exit door, the building's security system is activated, trapping everyone inside the prison. Storyline B, Stamets and Tarka create a miniature DMA, but it needs more power. Saru and Tarka disagree on what to do next and have a literal screaming match. Saru eventually gives in, but only if he has access to his kill switch. They all agree. Okay, it's time to give this baby more power and let's see what happens. And finally, storyline C. Dr. Culber has a therapy session with his own therapist, Dr. Kovich.
Kovich just read Culber.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, he was like,
yeah.
You're a whiny little bitch. Shut up. You died. You think you're special.
I mean, Kovich has things to do, right?
Yeah.
He's got a 2 o'clock.
That was so great. That really did remind me of a therapy session.
I really love how Cronenberg has gotten so into this role. He just fucking nails it. Mm-hmm. He does such a good job. And he's like complaining, you had 10 minutes. Now you have 8.
It's like, okay, dude, you're human. Get over it. I got 2 o'clock. Let's go.
I mean, he breaks it down really, quickly for Culber and says, look, you died. You came back. What's the point? You need to get over it.
Yeah, he just nails it right then and there. No fluff, no nothing. And then when he's like, I think I should reschedule, says, look, I made time for your ass, okay? You're going to do this.
You're coming at me with this bullshit? Come on.
Yeah, my day is important. I squeezed 10 minutes for your whiny bitch ass. So
yeah, and then he just totally diagnoses him. He's like, you got a savior's complex. Like, you have a problem distracting yourself.
Yeah.
It's like you use work to escape feeling guilty about being alive.
Mm-hmm.
And you're a middle finger to everyone that's lost anyone. I mean, just...
Which is everyone.
Yeah, it feels like, whoa, this is actual clinical explanations for something that actually happens. And I'm like, hearing it spelled out like this is just like brutal, man.
It was really heavy.
At least now we know in the future, 1,000 years from now, therapy sessions will be 10 minutes and not 50 minutes.
Well, that depends on your therapist. I mean, if you got Kovich, it's going to be 10.
It's 10 minutes.
Yeah, he was definitely awesome. I thought that whole little bit was good. And he really did hit Culber between the eyes. So it's going to be curious on how much of that information he gave him will take into effect. But the prison part, there was chicken shit stuff that they jailed him for.
Oh, yeah. No, that really started to anger me. I mean, I was put off a little bit by the magistrate at the beginning. But when I heard that these people were sentenced with these crimes that are...
For stealing food, taking a joyride.
And apparently counting cards is not a crime, but it is at the Tongo Club. What the hell?
I know. What the...
And anybody could go for a joyride in a sandcopter. I would have done that shit.
My question is, why the hell did those motherfuckers just say, hey, thanks for saving my life. I can't wait to get out of this hellhole. Let's go.
They were probably scared that it would be a little bit of thing. They didn't want to get out, taste a tiny bit of freedom, and then get slammed right back to where they were. And so I kind of get that point.
Well, the other side of this is I'm coming at it was like, they just brought 2 people. You guys should have brought 20 people and just said, okay, we're going and we can carry you and stun you and carry you if we have to, but we'd like to have you walk your asses out of here.
Yeah.
But with 2 people and a couple of phasers, it's not as impressive. So they're like thinking, well, no, what about our rights? I'm like, you guys, come on. We were trying to save your lives here. And they're like, nah, wait a minute.
Yeah, that would have ticked me off because, like, we got this death machine coming at us and you guys want to debate. It's like, come on.
Yeah. The hurricane is coming and you want to sit here and talk about this shit. I mean, we could get going right now, please.
Yeah, like we could discuss this on the ship.
Thank you. It's like that Uno game was last month, Karen. Get over it. It was really interesting.
Mean we still have Karens in 3189?
Yeah,
probably.
Well, that's when they get thrown over. They get locked away on an astronaut colony because they're a Karen, and they
Is that
just
what happens?
lock them away for life. It's okay.
She was locked away for being a Karen.
Now, this is one of the things that I know that we're going to probably get hate emails for this, so stand by, Patrick. I am not necessarily 100% convinced that the death sentence for jail for people who do things as a deterrent, for the simple reason they found a majority of people that commit crimes that kill somebody is usually a crime of passion. When you are in a passionate moment, you don't think that if I kill this person, I'm going to die because you have blind rage that's going on. Whereas if somebody who does like a bank robbery and willfully kills someone, yeah, fry the fucker. But other things when it comes to crimes of passion, that's a little bit more different. You know, when you get people that get blind rage, they don't stop to think. The logical part of the brain shuts down and the primate part takes over. So that's my feeling on that.
It is pretty, just sentence them to life. I mean,
yeah, there you go.
I mean, yeah, maybe a couple of months here or there, just send them away, banish them or something, but, not lock them up forever. That's kind of fucked up.
No,
especially if it's people that have, have crime of passion, or maybe they have a mental issue and they actually need help and rehabilitation, not just lock them up in the pretty triangles.
Quoting Jett Reno, well, that was something.
Yeah, I love Jett. Yeah,
I love her too.
The guy that goes back and he gets something, he shows he was genuinely remorseful.
Felix.
Well, that was his name?
His name was Felix.
Well, when Felix goes back and gets his Pokemon ball, he genuinely had remorse on what he did.
Oh, yes, he did. The level of presence his character brought to the screen, the presence of that man it speaks for itself.
Yeah, it does. He was a hell of an actor.
That's Michael Grey Eyes.
Yeah, he's wonderful.
An amazing actor.
Yeah, he is.
Yeah.
Did you know that he started out in ballet?
Yeah. Seriously?
Yeah.
He's a big guy.
Yep.
But I was really enjoyed the fact that His presence on the screen was mesmerizing. You
Yes.
just could not look away while he was telling his story.
Yeah.
That's a credit to him as an actor and how well he made that person come to life.
And you put him up against somebody like Sonequa Martin Green, and he commands the screen presence just as much as she does.
Yeah.
I love the quality of the actors that Star Trek brings to the screen.
I have to agree. It was
Man.
done so well.
You guys are going to love the way I describe him on the next section then.
Oh, boy. You know what I loved was that, you know how we can't get names right? Even Tarka can't get Galileo's name right. Galileo? Who?
No.
Who the fuck are you talking about?
That was funny.
Even a super genius from the future can't get the names right.
You know, that was pretty cool.
Well, I mean, come on. Galileo was how many, 2,000 years before him?
Galileo.
So,
Galileo,
the translation might have gotten lost.
Yeah,
somewhere.
he hasn't heard the Queen song?
Probably not.
Well, maybe he did, and that's how come he was messing it up.
The interesting thing, though, we always talk about how Star Trek says, hey, we're on common ground. We have things common with each other. He has in common with Stamets a neural lock. They had the neural lock from the chain.
Oh, yeah. Is that what that was? Because I didn't know what that was.
Well, and he had the mark on the back of his neck.
Oh,
I guess it's the same sort of thing.
Yeah, I forgot about the mark. I was wondering what the hell was that from?
Yeah.
Me
so
too.
It's a hickey.
when you, that's not the kind of hickey you want, man.
I don't know. I mean, it looked kind of fun.
I thought it was an octopus love tap.
A hickey that causes a scar?
Yeah.
But being controlled by the Emerald, someone from the Emerald Chain in such a way against your will, he has that in common with Stamets. Stamets can relate to that directly, and so can Book later when they have their scene in the end. So I just I find that interesting.
Their semen in the end. What?
Did I say that? Did I enunciate correctly? I guess not.
Patrick's in the mood. I'll send a Dot to take care of it.
And the other thing, great science was never accomplished with caution.
I don't know that that's true.
Are you sure?
That was so funny. The look Jett gave him when she said that.
I know.
don't think that's necessarily true.
That was cool. But they did the one smart thing, which is they gave an impartial observer the cutoff switch.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. That was the best thing done in this episode.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Give him
Aside from the
switch.
screaming, which was awesome.
Oh, come on.
That was a great reaction.
Which
to that.
was ridiculous because we're totally, next section
we
here.
can we can next section that, but it is totally ridiculous. I agree. I want to see the outtakes of the screams because that's something we deserve to get. Because I want to see the reactions that everyone starts screaming at each other for the first time.
WWE, the Saru Scream.
It's like, oh my God, Saru had bass.
Yeah, he did. He had hella bass.
He had
I was-
reverb.
And I was surprised. I was speechless. I was surprised that Saru actually did this without question. I mean, he just did it because Saru's like, okay, you want to get medieval on my ass? That was just awesome.
I would have loved it if he did like the dinosaur in Jurassic Park when he screamed, his things came out, his spikes came out and kind of wiggled in front of him. And the little
would've
spikes
been
stand.
cool.
I would have loved it because I guarantee you that guy probably would have shit himself.
Oh, man.
That would have been cool.
His reaction, though, when Ruon first yelled at him, he goes, "What was that?"
I know.
That was
The way he was just so offended. He was like, what are you doing?"
It would be the same reaction if you have a proper British royal person and it's like, I just have a spot of tea. Oh, sorry. It makes me want to take a shit. You just don't expect things like, wait, what?
No, Saru's very proper. So to see him scream like this, I thought it was very interesting.
It was.
Well, the whole idea of being out of control for a moment. When a science experiment, that's incredibly dangerous.
Yeah.
And in a show of power and, macho-ness, it's actually kind of dangerous when you know the kind of guy Saru is and could be.
Macho.
Because a Kelpian that was not
man.
afraid, I mean, you don't want to mess with a Kelpian that was not afraid. We've seen him shoot shit out of his face before.
Yeah. But he did say something which makes me wonder if they're going to revisit it, because when he asked him, didn't that feel good? And Saru's like, yeah, it felt good. But is that going to change his personality at all later on? So I'm just curious.
It's interesting, the little psychological games that we think Tarka is playing, because it feels like he is playing those games. And you're wondering with which way is he going to play those games?
Yeah, he's an ass.
Yeah, he's a piece of shit.
But now you have Michael and them. This is okay. Wait, that's the next section, or is this section?
That's the end of the section. They're talking about political asylum. And,
that's right. That's right.
And political theater versus justice. And I thought these are really cool, important themes to talk about. I just don't think it was the right time to be talking about it while the big, ginormous DMA is approaching.
But then they go to run to leave, and then the thing slams down with the shower curtain and they can't get out. And then they said, oh, it's key to the guard's DNA. And I feel like that's something you could have said.
Right?
They should have known this in the first place. It's like, wait, guys, don't come in. This place is actually like a really, really well done prison. Hello?
Especially after Michael spent all that time Googling fucking asylum shit for them.
Thank you.
Yes.
It's like you stepped on a mine, you blow up, but you survive. And as you land to the ground, surviving, you hit a guy behind you. Oh, yeah, there's a mine there. It's like,
I mean, at least they didn't have those implants where their heads popped off at the end when they crossed the line.
Oh,
that would have been bad.
Now,
talk about messy escapes.
Yeah, that would not have been fun.
It's like, you mean you didn't disable the biometrics? Hello?
Yeah, but I think that was a cool moment. And if you have the commercials, that was what they call as a mini cliffhanger for you to figure out how the hell they're going to get out of this now with this iron curtain. So it was definitely interesting. I guess we can go to the next act, Heather.
Hi, Captain. Act 3, Near Death. Storyline A, Michael uses the prison zone security defenses against it, hacking into the mobile mines and using them to blow the doors open. They escape and 5 of the prisoners are transported onto Discovery, but the murderer remains. He wants to commit suicide by DMA. Storyline B, Stamets and Tarka take the experiment as far as they can, giving the monster more power while the containment field crumbles. Saru finally has to shut the project down after they hit 5% on the containment field, almost killing everybody on board.
I like how Ruon calls Tig the grumpy lady.
The grumpy lady.
Yeah, he's very observant, isn't he?
I really get pissed off about that whole thing because there's 5% left and you guys are so much wrapped into your ego.
I'm upset because the kill switch idea, which was a great visual effect, you know how much money that cost? I mean, I put a lot of people in work to create that kill switch, but you just need to hit a button on a console. You don't even have to see the button. He could have walked over and hit it. Actually, he didn't even need to do that. He could have had Zora protect us. You know, when it hits 5%, turn it off. I mean, he could have done it automatically right there, the safest way possible. No, he has to make a visual kill switch effect. And I thought it was cool, but I thought it was ridiculous.
And this is why Chief is our #1 engineer in Starfleet. I love it because he just gets by all of this, fuck the fancy stuff. Give a button, tell the computer to shut it down.
I mean, you could have held you could have pulled a plug out of the wall. I mean, come on.
Seriously, where's the circuit breaker in this bitch? Just flip it.
Zora, turn it off after 5%. Okay.
Yeah, really.
Done.
And this is the closest you've come to killing us all. And that is really saying something.
Right. Well, I liked how Michael decided that she was going to use the Beatles to blow up the door.
The Beatles saved them. The Beatles, they got back to where they once belong.
The Beatles saved the day.
I was like, that's a Beatle blowjob.
Oh my gosh.
Because it blew up the door. There was a Beatle blowjob.
Oh my gosh.
Okay, then.
I wonder if all of them were named like number 9. Number 9.
Is that a fantasy? A Beatles blowjob? I'd never realized.
At least one of those Beatles was named Lucy.
In the Sky with Diamonds?
Right?
Oh, that explains it.
And one was named Jude.
Hey.
Oh my God.
Picture yourself locked in a jail by the mountain, trying to get out, but the door doesn't slide.
Very nice.
One of them did look like a yellow submarine, if I remember seeing it correctly.
We all live in a yellow submarine.
Yeah, but they were coming in, and then they started screaming at Michael. It's like, turn them off.
It's like, I'm trying. And she's got to hack the code. She didn't rig the off button button. The simple off button. All you had to hit the door explodes off button.
Seriously.
I programmed the tricorder to automatically kill them the second the door explodes. No, didn't bother to do any of that shit at all. We had to, add a little extra drama.
It shows how frightened they were, because don't you think that she would be trying to turn it off? Why are you going to yell at her to turn it off
already?
Yeah.
Like, she already saw the flying buzzsaws. Of course she's going to try to turn it off.
Seriously.
Like, hello, I'm trying.
It's like, come on, man. I'm going to, it's like, really? Yeah. So I thought that was kind of funny. They were kind of I understand why they're in prison, but for stupid shit. But that one woman had a personality disorder.
You mean she had a personality?
She was just like, really, turn it off. Go here. Give me things. I don't want to leave.
Maybe she was a Karen.
Well, you got a point. You get a point. And I think to hop around a little bit.
I need to talk to your manager. This is the worst jailbreak I've ever been
on. Oh my goodness. Yeah, I heard rumors it could have been done a lot better. But I love the fact that Zora, sorry to interrupt just for a second, with Zora, she knew how dangerous it was, because on her own, she just really started to like warn them what was going on.
Yeah.
You were saying,
I was just gonna say if she's a space Karen, she's like, and why am I being saved by a black woman?
Oh, Jesus.
That would have been the ultimate part. That would have done it. I mean, not just a black woman, but two. Yeah, they don't have any white people on your ship?
Exactly.
And you only brought two people? You got to bring more than two people to break us out. What kind of criminals do you think we are here?
Is that why it took them so long? Is that why they were like, so, hey, we're not going with you. You have to convince us. Like, what the hell is that? Because that's the first thing in my head. Like, you are in prison, you are in jail, and you're going to bitch and complain, and you're going to sit there and like argue with them? No, leave.
And they didn't bring a dune buggy or something. They had to walk half a kilometer to get past the barrier to transport. I
mean, the nerve.
What kind of a rescue is this?
I've been in this little triangle forever, and my legs are weak. You couldn't get me out of here now?
You couldn't carry me?
It's like, what the hell? What's my cleaning products? Do you guys have a salon on the ship? Because I'm ratty,
Well, I like that she was the first yeah, we're free now. Fuck y'all. I'm going to go this way. And they're like, no. You got to go together. We're not going to just let you walk away. We can stun your ass.
Yeah, but they learned them. There's a whole, I'm glad they kept it consistent, because they said it was a pattern interrupter or a scattering field. So they had to get them out of the thing. So that's why they couldn't teleport them. And I'm glad they kept that, because sometimes Star Trek forgets. And he says, okay, beam us all out. But wait, wasn't there a pattern interrupter? What happened to it? So I thought that was
interrupted the pattern.
Yeah, so I thought that was pretty cool. And they get him out there. But you said, what was his name? Felix?
Michael Grey Eyes.
Yeah, Michael Grey Eyes. He was like, yeah, now everybody goes, but I really did something bad and I need to atone for it.
Well, no, he did. If he would have said that come out right out and said that, I wouldn't have complained a little bit. Yeah. But no, he's like, no, wait, I forgot. So I got one thing. He starts digging out of the floor. And I'm like, the second a prisoner starts digging into the floor of the prison,
you shoot him.
Yeah. It's like, no, step back. I need to open that shit. You need to get back. I said, get back again.
That's full on Shawshank, man.
Oh yeah. It's like you've watched too many prison movies and you're triggered by this stuff.
Yeah. But they searched him. So he probably had that thing hidden in his prison wallet.
Of course. That's where he put it.
Oh God.
That's exactly where he puts a little orb.
That's actually the perfect size for that kind of thing.
Yeah. So there was that.
How would you know, Heather?
She's seen prison movies too.
She's experimented on people.
Tribbles.
So
you're sticking to low G orbs in Tribbles butts?
Oh my God. I can't go anywhere with this.
She convinced a Klingon that she had a miniature Tribble that if she stuck up as his anus, and since they hate Tribbles, that the constant vibration will give a warrior's pleasure.
Yeah, Butt-Beads.
Yeah, I don't think Lologi orbs were made for pleasure. It's a family tree.
But the little Tribble I'm talking about, not the orb thing. Not the orb thing. So, see? And they sell really well on Klingon.
Can we talk to the Tribble people, the people that make the Tribbles, to see if they can make some butt beads?
Well, don't talk to PETA. They're going to be pissed.
Oh, yeah, that's true. And just give them a little bit of food, and you can give more to presents as family. You buy one and you give them out to everybody.
If you take several and shave them and put them on a string.
I think we need to go to the next section before we kill more Tribbles.
I like that when Felix was saying, to Michael and to Book, it's like, you can force me, but I mean, is it really your choice?
That's the next section. That's the next section.
I thought we were already in that one.
No, we need you Act 4.
Okay. Then move on, grumpy lady.
I like pink tribbles, and I cannot lie. When I push them up inside. Oh, go ahead. Go. Sorry.
Number 1, Captain. So Act 4, Starfleet's in charge, biatch. The murderer convinces Michael that suicide is his choice to make, and then he gives her his trophy. She accepts it and ditches his ass on the Forsaken planet. Book vocally disagrees with Michael's decision. Safe on Discovery and away from harm, Michael talks with the murderer on an open channel as he wants everyone to hear this. He spends his last moments describing his kill. Then he is burned alive as his planet is flung into its sun. Discovery jumps away to safety, but there is no rest as the planet's leader storms onto the bridge, demanding to know why the prisoners are free. Michael explains that everyone is a refugee, Starfleet is now in charge, and he is the leader of a planet that no longer exists, so he needs to sit down and shut the fuck up. Snap! Michael locates the daughter, whose parents were murdered, and gives her the trophy, or the family heirloom, back. Zora notices Michael's emotions and comments on it, revealing that she has started feeling emotions as well.
Okay, so the trophy thing, the little orb, the little family tree and the orb thing. I was really, really afraid it was like a thermal detonator. I was ready for that little fucker to explode. And when they got on the communications with him at the end, I was really afraid he was going to say some secret code word, and then it would explode, and he'd be on the planet listening to Discovery explode. I mean, I was not trusting at all with this guy. I'm sorry.
It's like, I'm not dying alone. Y'all coming with me.
The genealogist in me was like very happy to see that Lilogate orb.
It was. The look on her face when she saw that, I thought that was precious.
Oh no! It turns out it was a happy ending after all, considering that you put the things back at
and you didn't even have to pay for the happy ending.
She gets she gets a little tree, a little spot in the tree. I thought that was really cool and cute, but I was still waiting for the fucker to explode. I was really worried about that. Fortunately, it's okay. And then Burnham walked away with great feeling of relief and satisfaction at the end.
But we also have a time explosion that hasn't happened yet. And that was between Michael and Booker. The look he gave her for leaving the guy on the planet before he walked off was...
Yeah, there's some serious tension there.
Yeah, and I think I understand his point of view because he figures he just lost everybody on the planet, so he doesn't ever want to lose anybody to this thing.
I mean, you make all this effort to get them to leave the place in the first place, and then he goes back for this one guy.
But then that goes into what I was trying to say before. He's like, Felix says, you can force me, but is it really your choice?
Well, yeah, if I want to force to get your ass out, we said we're going to evacuate everybody. That's it. That's the end of the story. Was it right? No, it's not necessarily right. And it's against his will. That's not necessarily right. But he was also in a prison for murder. So I don't know. It is a very questionable conversation you can have about the right to choose.
Well, at least they didn't play Suicide is Painless, the theme song to M.A.S.H. So.
Oh, God.
But
Suicide is painless.
Yeah, so a lot of people people don't realize that that's the lyrics because they smartly did not use the lyrics on the TV show.
I just learned that. Thank you.
No, I'm a huge, I remember being 13, maybe 14 when the M.A.S.H. season finale came on. And my mom was like, go to bed. I'm like, just 5 more minutes, go to bed, 5 more minutes, go to bed, 5 more. And I'm like, I stayed up and watched the season finale and I was in tears because it was one of my favorite shows.
It was really good. I mean, trivia, M.A.S.H. lasted longer than the actual Korean War did.
Yep.
Are you serious? Wow.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, it lasted.
And they shot
longer.
it in the hills in Burbank.
Yeah.
Huh.
But it was really good. And there's a lot of moments on that show that did make you cry. It was really, really done. They dealt with death and everything else. So it was pretty cool. But yeah, the guy wanted to pay for what he did. He knew what was wrong. He knew he killed. He knew he was in the wrong place. And it shows in a way what an honorable person that he was. He matured as a person while he was in jail and was filled with remorse. And so he wanted to make good on that. So I thought that was pretty cool. And I hope Booker comes around. But right now he's really pissed off. And I think that has a lot to do with the fact that all these people died when it hit. And he didn't want anybody to get lost to this monster again.
It's kind of nice that that they're together. That they're having a relationship, boyfriend, girlfriend. And it's really nice to see disagreements, see, problems and arguments, and not everything is like, hunky-dory, wonderful Brady Bunch bullshit.
Not all butterflies and rainbows.
Yes, thank you.
And everybody, when you have a relationship, anybody tells you that it's not work, they're lying. All relationships take work and give and take back and forth in order to do it. There's no such thing as a relationship that goes really, really smooth. And that's how people get surprised when you get a couple that always put their front face out on Hollywood. And then all of a sudden they're divorcing. Wait, what? Because you don't see the drama.
But my relationship with my hand is really smooth.
Oh, yeah, because your hand is smooth.
Well, you lubricate
it.
And that's what did you tell me? It says that you love it because it's in the name, Jerkins lotion, because that's what it's for. So, but it was.
I use Vaseline.
Neat. Oh my God, that was bad.
TMI.
Wow.
TMI.
That was bad.
I like when Michael brings the magistrate back up and he's like, we cannot be with these prisoners. And Michael's like, bitch, you're on my ship.
That was cool.
The balls of this guy. We're being rescued from instant doom. And the second he's like, I don't like these people being here mixed with other people. We need to fucking do something about that. And you're like, I'm on a starship flying your ass out away from this ginormous DMA thing. And you're bothering me with this bullshit? I would have thrown him into the airlock.
Oh, she gave him a total smackdown. I loved it.
Yeah, she's like, when you're going to be going to a new planet as a refugee asking for grace, and she goes, I hope you find a more just society than the one you had a hand in creating.
Yeah.
It was like, boom.
She slapped him down. Yeah, big time.
She's like, I'm the magistrate of a planet that doesn't exist. So have a Coke and a smile and shut the fuck up.
Sit down, shut the fuck up.
You're on my ship now, which is the Starfleet rules. Basically, they're like a flying embassy. While you're on that ship, you have to go along with Starfleet rules and regulations. And she shut him down good. All he could do was just give a look.
Yeah, she's like, you're the same as everyone else now.
Yeah.
Yep.
Seriously. It's not like you don't get the special corner.
Use nobody.
Thank you. You don't get a special corner in the room. One of the things that I really kind of liked that I thought was really cool, they talked about how this woman was going off because this black person was sitting next to her and she didn't want him sitting next to her on the plane. And she was complaining that she didn't like the guy. And so the stewardess came over and goes, I'm so sorry you're feeling uncomfortable and everything. She goes, we'll take care of it right away. And she gave this smug smile and she went to the guy. The black guy said, you come with me, sir. We have room up in first class.
Yeah, there you go.
Yes, that is awesome.
It's like, yeah, that's that. So that's how it should be. And that's basically what Michael kind of did. The refugees are here. They're part of the Federation now. Tough break for you.
Although, okay, so when Michael's in this, after she gives the Doxica woman the Lologi orb, and she's in the turbo lift, and Zora's like, I want to, extend my sympathies to you. She's like, I noticed you were feeling, some sort of way. And Michael's like, you can process that. You can feel emotions. And she's like, yeah, it's just a recent development. That's in my head. I'm like, danger, Will Robinson, danger, Will Robinson.
That's the moment that she realizes that she just got a Hal aboard her starship.
Open the door, Hal.
I think as long as Zora is loyal, and she's acting like, in my opinion, from what I've seen of Zora so far, is she starts to progress. She's more like a mother guardian figure.
Yeah.
That she obeys, but she's also looking out for the crew's best interest because she was responsible for Giorgio.
And this will be interesting because that's a possible benevolence that you may not require or want. You're like getting rescued from Starfleet off this planet that is about to explode, and maybe you don't want to go. The same kind of situation could happen to the crew of the Discovery. The starship could suddenly decide, well, maybe you don't need to do this. And
or maybe the crew of Discovery goes somewhere and leaves you alone for 1,000 years.
Well, that's one of the shorts. We got to see what happens because that's one of the shorts that they hid. So it's going to be curious.
I feel like Zora is way better than Hal because Hal is like a lack of empathy, whereas Zora is, she's full of empathy.
Hal had empathy. It wasn't as obvious.
Hal is a psychopath.
But that was it right there. That's the key. Hal is a psychopath.
So there's no empathy.
We don't think Zora is crazy. Zora may not be crazy. I mean, Hal might have been crazy. I mean, Hal was crazy.
I think you should take a stress pill and relax, Chief.
Hal said, take a chill pill. I died of laughter when I saw that. When the first time I recently saw that in my adult life, I'm like, the computer just told him to take a fucking chill pill.
Yeah, that was funny.
I'm reserving my judgment on Zora because I'm danger warnings were going off in my head. So I'm reserving my judgment.
It's concerning. It is concerning.
It looks like next episode is going to be a Zora episode, so that should be interesting.
Well, she's playing chess with Gray.
Yeah, they showed the little clip on the after show. So, but that was really the ready room. Thank you. I kind of see the benefits of having a computer that has some sort of feeling, but also so far she's been loyal. Everything they told her to do, she's done. It's going to be curious whether or not if they're going to give her something that goes against what she thinks is the right thing. So right now it's got to be trust. Zora's got to trust Michael and everyone to do the right thing, and they have to trust her to always obey orders.
I do find it interesting, though, that Zora is helping out with Burnham right here, making this conversation. Yet Zora's not talking to Stamets and Culber about their situations.
No, maybe because Michael is the captain.
That's a good point.
She don't like homos.
No, she didn't say that.
The computer doesn't recognize that, sir.
Are you sure?
Well, she's got an affinity for people of darker melanin because of the short. She took that guy. She wanted to keep
she
him
likes
on
to
there.
dance. Maybe they weren't dancing with her.
Before she was Zora, she was kind of a Karen.
Well, that's true. But now she's good to go. And you talked about relationship, and it was nice to see that Culber and Stamets had their moment.
Yeah, I was liking that.
Of finding out that, okay, yeah, we both are kind of a little fucked in the head, but...
How you feeling? Oh, I'm fine. And he's like, that's an avoiding fine.
Yeah, really. Yeah, I get
that's
the same
because he
thing.
knows him.
Yeah, that's where you got the relationship part of things helping out, that interdependency on each other.
That was really nice to see.
He's like, you're either a narcissist, or what was the other one? A narcissist?
Glutton for punishment.
Glutton for punishment. He goes, a little column A, a little column B,
They're both in the same boat a little bit. That's why they work well together.
Yeah. I don't get the narcissist vibe from Stamets so much as a autistic vibe, because he doesn't have the malice. He doesn't have the Machiavellian.
Yeah, he's too busy in his own world trying to figure shit out and not worried about certain aspects. I think
he doesn't have the disdain for people who are less intelligent than him.
That's a stellar observation there, Heather. That's really, I see that.
It's a hypergiant star revelation.
Hypergiant. That's a big star, sir.
But Tarek is definitely a narcissist.
He's an asshole. He's an asshole.
I'm worried about him. I'm worried really big. And he's walking around with Risa. What was a whiskey he had? He gave whiskey to Book at the end.
Yeah.
I didn't write down the kind. That's got to be a typo. It was from Risa, right? Whiskey Ricin, right?
Something
whiskey,
like that.
Ricin whiskey.
Hopefully it wasn't ricin because that's poison.
You don't want ricin's poison. You don't want ricin whiskey.
But
that was what was sent to the government in envelopes.
If you're getting your drinks right out of Risa, then it's got to be some really potent shit.
And then Booker swallowed it like a champ. He didn't even shiver. He's like, did you call this strong?
I'm going to leave that one alone.
Please.
I'm going to watch out drinking with you, sir.
I'm just...
He was. God! Oh God! Yikes!
I just don't gargle.
trying to keep the seriousness going. Nope, can't do it. No, the Tarka was also talking the book and realizing, of course, right away that he's the other Spore drive operator, which is why I'm getting the creep vibe from him too. And he's also trying to put himself on common ground, realizing about being angry and
anger is a productive emotion,
and having an almost be the story of his day as well. You almost was successful with what you were trying to accomplish, but you weren't.
But at the risk of destroying the crew and creating maybe two of these monsters, one of them that's being controlled and another one that just wanders willy-nilly because you created it with no controlling particle or anything.
The idea, though, I like he had to simulate it for real, because sometimes the simulation doesn't pan out and give you all of the actual data until you actually do it for real. So the idea of creating one of these things at a smaller scale was kind of genius. However, the visual size of the thing was like, could you make a little bit smaller one, maybe? A little bit smaller one, use a little less power? But I'm sure that this trying to make a DMA uses so much power anyway, it wouldn't make a difference if it was tinier. But
I think Tarka was just trying to boost his own ego that I made this and it worked. So blah, 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 blah. I solved it.
I don't think that. I bet that part was actually the easy part for him. He wants to understand it. I mean, he's trying to find out what makes it tick and how to make it work and try to Yeah, but his motives, I just wonder what his ultimate motives are. You look at Stamets, and Stamets is crazy enough to want to do something like this. And when he figures out he can do it, but he doesn't want to do it I'm sure there's an ulterior motive involved. I'm really not trusting of Tarka.
Maybe his ulterior motive is suicide because he got pissed off when Saru cut it off at 5%. It's like, what the hell were you thinking?
Yeah, he really did. And I'm glad that Saru did that because, yeah.
You can try to find out what makes something tick, but you just don't want to find out what makes something go tick, tick, boom.
I mean, exactly. 5%. I mean, what's the difference? You could have made it 10%, you could have made it 2%. I mean, why did you go down to 1.5%?
But still,
and that was a Jonathan Larson reference.
Yeah, but that's really on the edge there because it's building power. What happened if that last 5% that it was holding, that this thing they created all of a sudden exponentially just popped in power because it reached some sort of limit? There would have been no warning, no nothing. The thing just would have went and boom.
Yep. They all would have died.
Exactly. It's just like playing with fuses. That's why they always tell you don't play with fuses when you're doing fireworks or if you're doing dynamite, because you don't know if you ever get a fast fuse. Not all fuses go the same. Every once in a while, you'll get a fast one, and that could have wound up.
So is that the Fuse and Furious?
No, it wasn't the Fuse and the Furious. But, it was. I don't trust Tarka.
I'm really glad Jett said something, too. She's like, that's the closest you've ever brought us to death, and that's saying a lot. Like, I'm glad she actually mentioned that.
Well, she is the grounding element of the show because she really breaks it down. I mean, that's what Jett Reno does. She breaks it down for the average person.
Break it down.
It's just like Murphy's Law. One of the people that was a runner-up is that he was in the hospital because his face was all fucked up, and they asked him why. It's because he said when the freight train was going by, he wanted to see how close he can get his head to it.
Jesus Christ.
That's Darwin, sir.
Darwin, thank you.
Murphy is what can go wrong will go wrong.
Go wrong.
Yeah.
Which we discovered in college means that sooner or later everything's got to go right, because that means that sooner or later Murphy's Law has to go wrong, which means things will wind up working
my God.
out.
My brain just did a Spock.
That was deep, sir.
I just did a Kirk computer fry in my head.
We've done that. But thank you for correcting me on that. It was Darwin.
How many hits of acid were you on when you thought that up?
Well, we thought it up, and actually at that same night, we decided if a bunch of us joined our willpower together, tomorrow only comes if you go to sleep and wake up. So if we never went to sleep, tomorrow wouldn't come and we wouldn't have to take our exam. So we're bipolar. Our thought process
stupid.
that, those are revelations you have when you've been up drinking. But we also tried to resurrect the bottle because we had a guy that played Dungeons and Dragons and he was a druid. So we said, use your resurrection spell. We need more wine. Didn't work. But it was pretty cool to see how they tried to figure this out. I mean, a hyper giant, how are they getting their power source?
Big star.
I know.
Of course, it's going to require a lot of power. Where do they get it from and who can control it? That's the questions that I think we need answered. And the who the fuck is doing this?
They think that it's from the future, right? So isn't this device like from the future? So in the future, they figured out like how to make the ultimate battery.
Oh my God, Heather, you're on a roll today. Because if it's from the future, that means that there's a reason why Zora was 1,000 years waiting by a planet.
Whoa. That's better than the rumors that it might be control coming from the past.
Oh.
Tarka did say that someone created a tunnel through space-time to get to the DMA here. So
right. So it's from the future.
Oh, man. And they could use that tunnel.
But it could be from the past, too.
Oh, my goodness. That's...
And an alternate universe.
They didn't have the technology.
And maybe it's drawing also power from the...
Species that we know of did not have the technology.
No. And maybe it's drawing, it's feeding itself from the accretion. It's destroying planets and stuff, and it's using the debris.
Everything is possible, which was last week's episode title.
It's going to be interesting. I think you really stumbled upon something, Heather. It'd be curious whether or not if they're going to follow this, they're going to wind up stopping it and follow that tunnel into the future and discoveries of fish out of water.
They're already in the future.
1,000 more years into the future.
So they would be 2,000 years into the future. Holy cow.
Yeah, there's some sort of war that's going on.
My mind is blowing up.
Oh,
then we won't have a show
God.
because they have no one to be on Discovery.
Wait, oh my God. Remember the guy said that they had a big battle that was going on and they were fighting. He wanted to leave the ship to get back to his family.
Yeah.
What happened if somebody from that time frame decided to send this thing back into time and destroy the planets that was causing it to lose?
Oh, maybe. maybe.
Well, why would you blow up Book's planet? I mean, his planet's
his people are all empaths.
Peaceful, yeah.
Yeah, but they're all empaths, and who knows if you have an empathic warriors down the line, and we see that Book is quite capable of kicking ass.
I think it's too early to go through all these what ifs.
Yeah, I have to agree because my head
Marvel.
hurts. Okay, hold on. I get it.
Oh, good series, sir. Good series.
I have to clear my head because I unfortunately have to be really stern with my science officer in a couple of minutes. So,
oh snap!
Let me get myself straight.
Can I just compliment the AR wall this episode?
Oh,
Yeah.
it was
Right.
gorgeous.
Did
Oh,
that
my
not look
goodness.
cool? When I saw the first press release images of the AR wall, I think one of the scenes was from this episode, and the red skies reminded me of the vibe we got from original TOS series shows, because they would take a planet and just turn the sky red with lights and still have all those fake rocks and everything in the background. And it just is a look about that is essential Star Trek to me. That planet in a room kind of feel that looks a certain way on camera.
It looked amazing.
Anthony Rapp did say on the Ready Room that it, working with the AR wall did give him the sense that he was actually in a science fiction, movie book.
It's incredibly cool. I mean, as an actor on stage, I mean, these guys are stage actors. Their sets on stage look phenomenal, but this really does take it another level or two.
Because they have it even with the ceiling. So you basically are fully immersed in it. They took, I don't know if you ever guys did like Fly Over America or what are those things where you get into a chair and it takes you and it feels like you're flying over countrysides and everything else. They took that and raised it to the nth degree. It's really, it's really amazing.
With the AR wall, you don't have to, as an actor, you don't have to use your imagination as much. You can just be in the character.
It really is a holodeck for today's actors.
With that high resolution, they could mix reality along with that screen and you can't tell because it's seamless. There's a lot of times I'm looking at it and says, I know this is an AI wall, but damn,
they're on a planet.
I can't tell.
But it's seamless. I mean, seamless.
But it's really
seamless. That's what I mean.
It's really good.
So what did you guys think of the shows? Captain, what would you give the rating for this?
This one,
we talked about this yesterday.
Yeah, I would have to give it about maybe a 7.
Yeah.
It wasn't like a favorite. For me, the shining point was with Felix and the relationship aspects of it. So I did like that part. My unfavorite parts is the asshole and how they lose track. Yeah, and how they lose track of how much danger is going to happen with the crew. So I think that's what I would give it.
Cool. And number 1?
I'm going to give it a 6 because like I was talking to Nathan yesterday. I'm like, it really wasn't like a great episode. I mean, there were moments like with Kovich and, then finding out that the DMA was created by somebody. But overall, it was just kind of like, okay, I wasn't really like the whole prison thing was kind of flat for me. So I would probably give it a flat? 6. It just, I mean, Michael Grey Eyes was amazing, but the other characters were just kind of like, I mean, completely window dressing it. There was no, I don't know. It didn't, I'm not sure. It just didn't hit me.
Okay. And what did you think, Chief?
I would give it a higher rating than the one last week, which I don't remember where I was last week, but so like one above, but not tip top. This episode it's kind of what we're in the in-betweeners. So we're trying to move the plot along between the exciting points of the story. And you got these in-betweener episodes. So it's kind of like, we got to explain stuff. We got to do things. We got to take side missions. We got to do this and that. And we got to keep your entertained, but we can't give it to the big story. So it feels like that. I actually liked a lot of the Star Trekkiness to a lot of this. The moral issues, the right to choose for other people, for you, the questions of how far was too far to go. These questions can be essential questions that are brought up by Star Trek. So that's great. They entwined some great stuff into this episode. At the same time, I've seen too many prison movies and I'm screaming, why is there only 2 people? Don't let them open the case. Oh no, you guys, you idiots, you forgot about the wall that would crash down at the end when you're trying to go way out. You didn't disable the biometrics. I mean, this is just all elements of a bad idea for Prison Break movie. It's like, we want to succeed and take, I mean, they used the Beatles. I like them using the Beatles at the end. I thought that was pretty cool. But yeah, so it was not the most perfect episode. I was very entertained and the characters are great. I would have liked to have seen a little bit more of those side characters in the prison because they kind of felt like, window dressing. I don't like to think of people window dressing, but it felt like they were cut for time, you know? Like they had stories too.
I still want to ask Rocky, do you like prison movies? Like from Airplane, do you like gladiator movies?
You ever been in a Turkish prison?
Michael Grey Eyes, I think, would have been a great addition, but I understand he was a one shot. I really liked him.
He can always come back as another alien. They just got to throw some costuming and makeup on him.
That's true.
You can see that happen in Star Trek all the time.
Or like, we'll put
Jeffrey
a horn
Combs, hello.
Or put a horn on a dog and say it's alien.
Right?
You know, but yeah, that was good.
Cool.
How about you, Heather? You didn't say what you felt.
Oh, I would probably give this an 8. I really enjoyed this a lot. Not one of the higher ones, but it was really, really a very good episode.
It's good Star Trek. It really is.
Yeah,
and people on Twitter, even they're like, I don't know. It's hard to tell from all the people you follow on Twitter because they're all Trekkies. And some of them hate this stuff and some of them love the new stuff. And some of them are like, actually, that one was pretty good. And I'm like, yeah, this is great stuff. I'm loving it.
Yes.
You know, but as somebody watching some of the things evolve, you know, not trusting a certain character that comes out and the orb thing was just kind of weird until you realize at the end it's a little family tree. I mean, like screaming at the screen, like, no, he's going to make it explode, you know. But I was having fun watching. So thumbs up in that regard.
I agree. I love the fact that it's still Star Trek, is that we went so long in the desert without any treks whatsoever, is that we get a chance to feast and glut on all the offerings that they have now, from Lower Decks to Prodigy to this, to a possible show about the cadets, Section 31 coming down the pipe is just friggin' amazing. And there's like 4 or 5 other shows that are in production. It's just
New Worlds.
Yeah, New Worlds. I'm just beside myself. This is one of the things that even if I was near death, I would have them hook me up to a machine, and I don't care. Keep everything pumping until Trex is done.
Yeah, I mean, I got that feeling from, you know, knowing like, wait, there's new Star Wars movies at that point in my life, and like I'm not ready to die yet because I need to see what happens at the end of the story.
Exactly.
And of course, when you're on the other side of it, you're going like, well, it would have been that big a deal, but but there's Star Treks. We got to keep going because there's Star Treks going on.
Yeah, it's definitely going to be really interesting. Heather, thank you for the excellent recap.
Yeah.
That was really cool. And that unfortunately will not take this thing away from when I'm about to have a meeting with you. So,
damn.
Yeah. So after this, as soon as we get finished with this broadcast, I need to see you here.
Hi, Captain.
Patrick, you disturb me with that anal loop stuff. I'm going to have to look over the manifest of stuff we having delivered now more closely to see what you're doing there. And Chief?
Yes.
As always, such an excellent job. I really appreciate the work you do on board this vessel. Okay. I guess that's it. Unless, Patrick, do you have any inkling of what next week's episode title is?
Nope, because it is not listed as yet.
Oh, they're teasing us. Okay, I know I haven't been able to be on the premiere lately because I have a lot of stuff that I have done. So I do miss you guys on the premiere. I'm going to try to see if I can make it. Maybe this Monday I can, to see or Tuesday, depending upon when it hits. So thanks everybody for joining us for another great episode. It was fun hanging out with you guys. We look forward to seeing you again next week. Remember, you can find us on all the different social media, and it just occurred to me telling you what platforms we're on is kind of redundant because you already know, or else you wouldn't be listening to us.
You know what's cool, sir, is we're also and now I just realized what you just said. That's what I'm about to say has no regard whatsoever. But because you're listening to us already, we're also on Facebook. Facebook is doing podcasts now. They picked up, they added a podcast feature, and I dropped our link into it, and then boom, it's also available directly on Facebook's featured podcast thing.
Now, cool. That actually is pretty cool because now after you said what you just said, it made me realize of what I said also could be tweaked, because that means that you may not be aware of what other platforms we're on. And you may not be listening to us on the platform you like. So therefore, you can go to our website and find a platform you do like and listen to us. So we got a whole offering for you. We are on SoundCloud. We're on iTunes. We're on Facebook. We're on YouTube. I mean, hey, shake a stick and you'll find us.
And our website is starfleetunderground.com.
And all the links and show notes and stuff, it will be there. And if you really want to be able to help us get out there and get the word out there, go ahead and join our Patreon because the funds actually go to really good use. So thank you.
Like exploding Tribbles.
Yeah, we're going to clean that stuff up.
Exploding Tribbles.
You said you got the corridor almost done. So where did you put the exploding Tribbles? In Cargo Bay 4? You said there's enough room. It's just now it looks like a mosh pit. All right. Thanks, Doc. Okay. Thanks, everybody, for joining us. It was a wonderful time. Please. Also, I just realized that this will maybe the last time you'll hear us before the holidays come up. So happy holidays, Merry Christmas, and have a really good week and be safe out there. Remember, just don't have a great week, but make it so. Heather, to my room, please. Wait, is this still recording? God damn it. Chief, hit the button because it's not working.
Yes, sir.
Thank you.
And if you can, support the show by going to patreon.com/Starfleet Underground. Lots of perks to choose from, and you might even like some of them. Starfleet Underground, beaming into a podcast feed near you. Log on to our website at starfleetunderground.com and send your comments and questions to thecollective@starfleetunderground.com. Follow us on Twitter at StarfleetUnderG and on Facebook and Instagram, we're Starfleet Underground.